Some were learning English, while others were learning my native language. We took turns speaking in each language. This gave me the opportunity to practice English with new people. It was a bit intimidating at first, but everyone was friendly and supportive. In the language exchange group, we played speaking games. One game was to describe a picture in English. I would look at a picture and try to describe what I saw. There is a cat on the table. The boy is playing with a ball. This game helped me practice using different words and constructing sentences on the spot. Another game was role-playing. We pretended to be in different situations, like ordering food at a restaurant or asking for directions. "I would like a sandwich, please." "Where is the nearest bus stop?" These role-playing exercises were practical and fun. They helped me practice speaking in real-life situations. Overcoming shyness was one of the biggest challenges I faced in learning to speak English. At first, I was very shy. I was afraid of making mistakes. I was afraid that people would laugh at me or think I was not smart. This fear made it hard for me to speak up, but I knew that if I wanted to improve, I had to overcome my shyness. I had to be brave and take risks. I had to be willing to make mistakes and learn from them. One thing that helped me was positive self-talk. Whenever I felt nervous about speaking, I would tell myself, "It's okay to make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. That's how we learn." This positive self-talk gave me the courage to speak up. My friends and family also played a big role in helping me overcome shyness. They were very supportive and encouraging. They never laughed at my mistakes. Instead, they praised my efforts and progress. Their encouragement made me feel more confident. I also set small, achievable goals for myself. Instead of trying to speak perfectly right away, I focused on small steps. My first goal was to answer a simple question in English. "How are you?" "I am fine." Once I achieved that, I set a new goal to have a short conversation in English. "What is your name?" "My name is Alex." "Where are you from?" "I am from Brazil." These small goals helped me build confidence gradually. As I practiced more, I noticed that my shyness started to fade. I became more comfortable speaking in English. I realized that most people were kind and patient. They wanted to help me succeed. This realization made it easier for me to speak up. I also learned to laugh at my mistakes. When I said something wrong, I would laugh and correct myself. "Oops, I meant to say, she is my friend, not she is a friend of me." Laughing at my mistakes made the learning process more enjoyable. It also showed others that I was not afraid to try and fail. Another thing that helped me overcome shyness was participating in group activities. In my language exchange group, we had group discussions and games. Speaking in a group was less intimidating than speaking one-on-one. It gave me the chance to listen to others and learn from them. It also gave me the opportunity to speak without feeling too much pressure. Over time, I became more confident. I realized that speaking English was not about being perfect. It was about communicating and connecting with others. I focused on the message I wanted to convey, rather than the mistakes I might make. This shift in mindset made a big difference. Now I can speak English with confidence. I am not afraid to make mistakes because I know they are part of the learning process. I enjoy speaking with others and learning from them. I am proud of how far I have come. If you are shy about speaking English, Remember that it's okay to make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes when they are learning something new. Be kind to yourself and celebrate your progress. Set small, achievable goals and practice regularly. Surround yourself with supportive people who encourage you. Over time, you will become more confident. You can do it, just like I did. The Chapter 4. Reading and Listening. After building my vocabulary and practicing basic sentences, I wanted to improve my reading and listening skills. Reading children's books was a great way to start. They were written in simple language, which made them easy to understand. The colorful pictures also helped me connect words to images, reinforcing my learning. The first children's book I read was about a cat and a mouse. The sentences were short, and the words were familiar. The cat sees the mouse. The mouse runs away. I read each sentence carefully, looking at the pictures to help me understand the story. It was exciting to read a book in English and understand it. This small achievement gave me a sense of accomplishment and motivated me to keep reading. I continued to read more children's books. Some were about animals, while others were about everyday activities. One book was about a boy's day at the park. The boy plays with his friends. They fly a kite. They eat ice cream. These simple stories were relatable and easy to follow. Reading them helped me practice new words and sentence structures in a fun way. As I read more, I noticed that my reading speed improved. At first, I read slowly, sounding out each word, but with practice, I began to recognize words more quickly. I could read sentences without pausing to think about each word. This made reading more enjoyable and less tiring. My favorite book was about a little girl who loved to bake cookies. The girl mixes flour and sugar. She adds chocolate chips. She bakes the cookies in the oven. The story was delightful, and the illustrations were charming. Reading about the girl's adventures in the kitchen made me want to try baking cookies myself. Reading children's books also improved my comprehension skills. I learned to understand the main idea of a story and to pick out important details. I practiced summarizing the stories in my own words. This helped me think about what I had read and reinforced my understanding. To make reading even more enjoyable, I joined a book club at school. The club was for students learning English. We met once a week to read books together and discuss them. Each week, we chose a new book to read. During our meetings, we took turns reading aloud. This was a great way to practice pronunciation and fluency. After reading, we talked about the story. What did we like about it? Who was our favorite character? What did we learn? These discussions were fun and engaging. They helped me see different perspectives and think more deeply about the stories. They also gave me the confidence to share my thoughts in English. Listening to English songs was another enjoyable way to improve my language skills. Music made learning fun and helped me practice listening and pronunciation. The melodies and rhythms made the words easier to remember. I started with simple songs like Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star and Mary Had a Little Lamb. These nursery rhymes were easy to understand and sing along with. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. The repetitive lyrics helped reinforce the words in my mind. Singing along improved my pronunciation and made learning feel like a game. As I grew more comfortable with simple songs, I moved on to pop music. I listened to songs by popular artists like Taylor Swift and Ed Sheeran. Their songs had catchy tunes and relatable lyrics. You belong with me. I'm in love with the shape of you. I found myself humming the melodies throughout the day. To make the most of my listening practice, I looked up the lyrics to the songs. Reading the lyrics while listening helped me understand the words better. I highlighted new vocabulary and phrases. For example, in the song Shape of You, I learned phrases like, "The club isn't the best place to find a lover." Understanding these phrases in context helped me remember them. I also used apps and websites that provided lyrics and translations. These tools were helpful for understanding songs with more complex lyrics. They allowed me to see how words and phrases were used in different contexts. I could sing along and follow the lyrics in real time. One of my favorite activities was karaoke. I found karaoke versions of my favorite songs on YouTube. Singing along with the music and lyrics on the screen was a fun way to practice. It helped me improve my pronunciation and timing. Sometimes, I would invite friends over for a karaoke night. We sang our favorite songs together and had a great time. Listening to songs also exposed me to different accents and styles of English. I listened to songs by artists from different countries. This helped me get used to hearing English spoken in various ways. It broadened my understanding of the language and made me more adaptable. Music became a big part of my daily routine. I listened to songs while doing homework, exercising, and relaxing. The more I listened, the more familiar English sounded. It became a natural part of my environment. I even started to dream in English, which was a sign that my language skills were improving. Watching English cartoons and shows was another effective way to improve my listening skills. Cartoons were particularly helpful because they were designed for children. The language was simple, and the characters spoke clearly. The visual context made it easier to understand what was happening. My favorite cartoon was Peppa Pig. The episodes were short and filled with everyday situations. Peppa goes to the park. She plays with her friends. They jump in muddy puddles. The stories were easy to follow, and the characters' expressions and actions helped me understand the dialogue. I watched the episodes repeatedly, which helped reinforce the vocabulary and phrases. Another cartoon I enjoyed was Dora the Explorer. Dora spoke both English and Spanish, which was helpful for learning new words. "Hola, I'm Dora. Let's go on an adventure." Each episode involved solving problems and finding clues. The interactive nature of the show made it engaging. Dora often asked questions and paused for the viewer to respond. "Can you say map?" This interaction made me feel like I was part of the adventure. As I became more confident, I started watching shows with more complex language. Sesame Street was a great choice. The characters introduced new words and concepts in a fun way. The skits and songs were entertaining and educational. I learned about numbers, letters, and everyday objects. Today's show is brought to you by the letter A and the number 5. To improve my listening comprehension, I used subtitles. Watching shows with English subtitles helped me match the spoken words to their written forms. It was like reading and listening at the same time. If I didn't understand a word, I could pause and look it up. This method helped me learn new vocabulary and understand the context in which it was used. I also watched shows with my family. We would choose a cartoon or a children's show and watch it together. After the show, we discussed what we had watched. What did you think of the episode? What was your favorite part? These discussions helped me practice speaking and expressing my thoughts in English. It was a fun way to reinforce what I had learned. Sometimes I watched the same episode multiple times. Each time I understood a little more. Repetition helped reinforce the vocabulary and phrases. I could focus on different aspects of the language, such as intonation and pronunciation. With each viewing, I felt more confident in my listening skills. Watching shows also helped me understand different cultural contexts. I learned about holidays, traditions, and everyday life in English-speaking countries. This cultural knowledge made the language feel more relevant and interesting. It also helped me understand the humor and references in the shows.